on Wednesday, July 22nd to order at 5 p.m. And I will do a roll call. We have trustee Fluger present, President Mansell, and trustee O'Connor is excused. I would look for a motion to approve the consent agenda from July 22nd, 2026 meeting today and the minute from July 1st, 2026.
I will make a motion.
I will second that motion. Any discussion?
One clarification. So in the minutes from last month, meeting called to order, that should be 5 p.m. instead of 5:30.
Actually, it should be 5:30 and 5:52,
Okay,
because remember, we moved that back because we were at Ripple Creek.
that's right, we did. Okay.
The 32 should be 52.
Yeah, but I saw the adjournment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I knew one of them was wrong because I'm like, we talked for longer than 2 minutes. So,
Good point. And I think I took minutes, so 5:52 would be the journey.
Okay.
so 5:30 was order, 5:52 adjourned. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
So point of clarification, then can we approve it with that change?
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
and then, Kim will adjust it
Yep.
as such
Mhm.
for the record. Okay. So with that correction of the adjournment at 5:52 p.m., all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm
Okay,
trying to write now too.
okay. And that motion is carried. So, public comments. Nobody's online and, nobody's here. Chairperson comments, I do not have any comments at this time. Update on DMI properties.
So last meeting, I was asked by this committee to reach out to Village Legal on what we should keep doing with the ordinance violation that we've written to DMI. So again, we're almost just under $10,000 to DMI ordinances, written by the Port Orchard Police Department. Our Village Legal, I thought it was a great idea. We've been doing the ordinance tickets. We've been discussing, we're at the next step. There's nothing we can do unless the village is willing to stick some more money probably in the legal account to go after them with a different attorney and things like that legal. They're out of state, so we'd have to deliver them papers, things like that. So he recommended, the village board needs to discuss, do we want to, obviously it's probably out of our hands of our legal. We'd have to get an attorney outside of our normal legal and try to push this issue. But again, what are we gonna push for? We can obviously, if they pull a building permit, things like that, we cannot issue them permits until they would clear up the citations. But there's really nothing we can legally do at this time, unless we want to go after them as a corporation, as a business, as DMI. So I guess I feel, and I brought this up a little bit in public safety, that maybe underneath President's report, we can bring this up in the next month or so. I can get some more information, and as a committee, we can decide, maybe I can have our legal get some prices, what an attorney would cost, and have a written kind of a document that you guys could have from our legal, like, how much would the next attorney cost, what would he do, and things like that.
Exactly. That's the piece that I would think would be very helpful to when we take it to the whole board, is what the estimated cost would be to actually try to get them moving.
Yeah.
And what you want to do, does the
Yep.
village, this is a village want are you going after them to get the property back? Are you going after them to get them money? Are you going after them to clean it up? There needs to be some clarification.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And then we can also, when we do that, we can always put discussion and possible motion, like, right, you put possible motion as in, there might not be any motion.
Yeah.
But at least we have it there instead of having to then we have to
So-
come back around again.
for clarification, that is at the regular board meeting?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
I
Just so that
agree
we
with
get a consensus from everybody around the table instead of just bouncing it around from committee to.
And I think it's been discussed on multiple committees.
Yes.
Obviously the two that we've had today, 2 out of the 3 have discussed it. So.
Yep.
I think your report makes a good place to put it for.
Yep.
Just discussion purposes.
all of the input from this committee over the time is we want action. We want them to do something with that property to help the village, to get them off the duff and actually moving it to get it developed into something that's worthwhile and not a nuisance. So what avenues do we have to that, mentioning what you're saying? Do we want do we want it back? Or do we want, the money, or do we want them to do something? I ultimately want them to do something. I mean,
We
if
also
we get it back, it's gonna be very hard on the village. and it's gonna be,
Cause then it turns into. our-
Yeah.
And we have to be careful how far we
Responsibility and
push this, because
liability.
Wood County does own one of the buildings, so we have to be, make sure when we start pushing, we have to be fair. And I don't know how that all goes, that's way above anything, but you know, you can't accuse one person, not another, when they're side by side buildings, so we have to be a little careful.
Yep.
Since the county does own that, and I don't
agree.
understand that side of it, and I can have legal try to let them know that there's a building owned by Wood County and there's a building owned by DMI.
That are joined together.
Yes, that, how do you,
Mhm.
when this all starts going down, how do we tackle it? So I'll try to have it for next month, but there's a little more moving pieces to this, so it may take me a month to have legal get something really together.
I agree, and I'm in favor of that. And I'll let President Mansell speak. The other thing is the focus of DMI, the focus of the admin building, which the Wood County owns. The other piece to that is the research center. If we can get that parcel together, then I think we've all heard that the county has a better chance of getting grants or funds to help to resurrect that property, potentially,
Potentially better than Port has.
better than DMI.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and again, this is all speculation, and you've been dealing with, Jason, our planning and zoning director, and Heather, the county treasurer. Those are gonna be the two that are gonna be the point people for anything county-wide anyway, so I think it's just speculation on my part, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the county, I'm just a county employee. But from what I do as a safety and risk nerd, I don't think the village wants it back simply because then it becomes our liability.
Correct, but the DMI is one piece. We have the other piece with the admin building and the research center, but the research center is owned by DMI.
Correct.
The front building's owned by Wood County. If we
Yep.
get that parcel together, then we can potentially, because Wood County, who was the gentleman from Wood County that you mentioned?
Jason,
Jason, yeah, he basically said that, if we get that together, there may be potential for
Mhm.
grants. We'd have to look at that opportunity because,
Yeah.
all of that property down there, including the YMCA property,
Mhm.
is potentially developable.
and I am following, Stevens Point, if anybody's kind of followed, they did get some of the brownfield grant for the old Shopco and but I mean, that's been going on. I mean, I look back, that's been going on 10 years since that property, the Shopco got tore down and, the Mid-State moved. I mean, there's a lot of things that had to happen before they got this big brownfield grant. So I mean, somebody had initially had to put money into it before they were willing to give you the next part of the grant. So I'm hoping that I can learn a little more of that as that's going about in the next couple months to see, but that took money before the brownfield was actually given.
And I haven't actually looked at the parcels on there, so there's a possibility the county could take back a portion of it. I don't think they want the entire thing. But if there's interest in having the research center and the admin building be in the same, obviously the county could look at it. That's something that would have to be, I don't know if they want to tax deed any of it. I don't think they do. But if that puts it in a better situation to market or develop, I think they're at least willing to listen to that conversation.
There was a grant money funds that got given to the village to come up with a plan for that property.
Mhm.
And they had like 3 or 4 different proposals of including that research building and very nice, but very,
Yes, I still have those
gotta
plans. I still have those 3
A lot's
plans.
gotta have to happen in order for that to, very optimistic, I should say.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Anything else on DMI?
Nope, I will keep working and like I said,
Yep.
give me for sure by September, maybe we'll see what the August is.
Until then, we'll still keep racking up the charges, let the meter keep spinning. Okay, discussion and possible motion on chapter 8. Let me ask a question to President Mansell. Do we need to have a motion and to discuss? And then can I table the motion if we want to get a hard copy back for next time?
So second, we can have it, you can have the motion and second, but then we just won't vote on it.
Yeah,
Then would you table the
then you
motion?
can, then motion to table.
Okay, I'm just curious.
And then usually when you
Procedural.
motion to table, like it's always gonna put a date on there, because if you motion a table with no date, this could.
Yeah.
Sit on the back
Okay.
burner for free.
I just want to know
Yeah.
semantically how we're supposed to do it. So.
Yep.
I'm looking for a motion to approve chapter 8 as the document that I handed out with the corrections that are on this.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, with that, open for discussion.
Okay. You wanna start or you want me to?
I'll walk through my changes so everybody's got an understanding of it. What I did is I took, Rob's generated, and they're all valid, all of his, changes, and put them on our, original format. So 8.01, there was added subsection intentionally left blank pending board review to both 8.01, 2, and 3, which I think it makes sense. And under 8.01, number 1, the verbiage of, instead of the clerk treasurer, it's the village clerk treasurer, because I guess in chapter 2, that's what it's referred to. So wherever the clerk treasurer is referenced, we put the word village in front of the clerk treasurer. So 8.02, number 2, the same thing. All such alterations of grade shall be recorded in the office of the village clerk treasurer. And same thing with 8.03, number 3, schedule on file in the office of the village clerk treasurer. And then 8.03, number 5, taking the gender out, the permittee instead of he. On 8.05, snow and ice removal, number 2, taking out the gender specific his and putting in there.
There's one 804 too, 8041 on top.
And the person.
8041, yes, you're right. 8041, taking out gender specific he and putting in the person. And then I just checked those references and they were okay. That was my code that they're okay. 8.07, number 6 is an inclusion of everything that is on the following page. Vehicle registration infrastructure fee. And then as the verbiage as listed here. Any questions or comments on that verbiage? I did have a question on 8.07, number 5. The wheel tax is for curb and gutter, not sidewalks.
So I will basically tell you that the village does not do public assessments,
No, but
anymore. So the
cost
problem
of
is that whole
replacement,
section needs to probably be gone through.
well, it's curb and gutter. We took out the cost of replacement of curb and gutter shall be borne by the village. Took that out because of the wheel tax, right?
We took that out because the village got rid of we got rid of assessments. We got rid of assessments. There's no assessments. When we do a house in front of any house, the resident doesn't pay a single dime if it's curb, gutter, anything like that. It's all paid by the village.
Including sidewalk?
Yep.
Should it be removed out of 5? That's why I have it highlighted in yellow and question mark. Should that also be removed? The cost of the replacement of sidewalk shall be borne by the village. Is that true?
Well, the special assessments for all new sidewalks shall be levied at the cost. I mean, basically, there is no assessments for sidewalks anymore. The village, that really can just come off because if sidewalk gets replaced in front of your house, it's paid by the village. So it really should be get rid of the whole
So 808, just 86 it?
realistically,
I mean,
because we don't have special assessments. There's no special assessments at all.
86 what?
just take the whole 808, just take the whole thing out.
And even the sidewalks, we should take out B, the whole special assessments part should just be gone.
8.055B.
Should just be gone.
removed.
Yes, but there is no special assessments.
So I will strike through 8.05, number 5, subsection 5B will be removed.
Oh, that's 807.
Yeah.
Yep, you said 805. I was looking in the wrong place.
Number 807, subsection 5B.
Correct, yep.
Okay. And then include That would make,
I think 4 should come out too, honestly, 4B, or even talk about curb and gutter or anything, because that really, that whole section should come out. Because there is no assessments, basically
Okay.
curb and gutter provided by the village.
then I can strike 8 remove 8.074B. Okay. And include 8.07 number 6 as listed on the following page. Okay,
So language wise, does the village has instituted starting in January 2022, is that? I'm just wondering if the start date needs to be in there.
So if you look in your back of your packet, I've included the resolution that was passed 2021.05. Which explains everything, which realistically, starting at number 6,
it's the verbiage.
6A, B, C,
Okay. No, that's fine.
D, E should all be attached into this updated
No,
ordinance.
100%. I just didn't know. So if it's in the resolution and the language is required, then leave it in there. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna, but now this is complicated. It makes it a lot more. So you gotta go through F and G. Or,
Yes, everything in there should be, because that talks about how the DOT takes care of all the costs and everything like that. And then G tells you when the ordinance actually started. And this was written by previous administration and past, so this whole thing. Has this been passed by the village board, should be in the ordinance this way.
yes, it should, so.
Mhm.
So, if we wanna change the language, I guess we can come back and do it, but starting point, we need to start at 6. And go all the way to G.
What I've got is this all the way down is effective would be included at 6.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Makes sense.
Without that, I think we could have passed the motion, but we'll have a discussion at the end with her. You wanna
Sure.
pass it and then go to board with it. So that is all on 8-3. 8-4. 8.08 is it? Number 3E. Is it 8.08? Yeah, 8.08, 3E, including with the village clerk treasurer.
Were we talking about removing the entirety of 808?
No,
So I thought you mentioned that special assessments don't occur anymore. And that entire section is about special assessments.
that's the good point, but
Yeah, I'm not, maybe I was mistaken in the conversation there, but when you said we don't do special assessments, I'm like, well, if it's 8.08
we,
is all about special assessments, do we still need it?
well, let me ask a question. He said we don't do special assessments for curb and gutter and sidewalk.
For anything.
You-
We don't do
Anything.
anything. We don't do anything. The village of Port Edwards does not do assessment. That was the reason that the wheel tax. And I can go back and read it and there was some big conversation because before the wheel tax, we were looking at putting assessments on everything. Like if sidewalk went in front of your house, you had to pay for it. Sewer went, that was how we basically eliminated assessments and put the wheel tax on everybody. So that everybody, if there's a project goes, everybody in the town pays for it. So basically,
You
in
never,
short terms, there is no special assessments from the village of Port Edwards.
so there's no assessments for any other public works things that go on. There wouldn't be a public,
Because then we should take out 2 under sewer and water mains unless.
I'll be 100% honest with you. I need to probably look back how this motion, I know there was discussion on the whole assessments when past administration was here, and I just need to make sure that how that was worded.
assessments can be done for any public infrastructure.
Correct, but that was the whole point,
That was.
the wheel tax, because the village was basically spending money that they were getting. If we went through your house and did curb and gutter, the village would spend $15,000 to get the curb and gutter done, but you'd only be paying $500 a month for 10 years. So the village had to upfront the money and to pay it, and it wasn't, we were having to borrow the money. It wasn't working out. So that's why we decided at that time to get rid of all of assessments and the village would pay to do all the infrastructure and things like that. And we wouldn't have it on our dial, we wouldn't have it on our account. The special assessments. It was getting hairy for accounting systems, but
Yeah.
I know there's a big discussion at that. And I guess I'm gonna have to look back at that, no,
It was
the previous
also-
board meetings.
Yeah, because I can understand for the wheel tax covering sidewalk, curb and gutter and stuff
My
like that.
question is,
But go
sewer
ahead.
and water,
Well, we don't pay either, because that was,
that's what I couldn't remember.
we had,
So the wheel tax covers sewer and water replacement?
no, yes, there's no assessments period.
Yeah.
We,
Okay.
we do a brand new road, the village pays for 100% of it.
And
So then,
that, like, the money from the wheel tax has gotta go into that kind of account, so that's what it's getting used for.
so that's
It's not buying fire trucks or
Eight point-
anything.
8.072B, special assessments for all sewer and water main extensions shall be levied. So that's not valid either.
Correct.
I'll be 100% honest, if you look at where the font changes. There's a font change in these ordinances. That is from previous administration. If you look after 8.08, then you can see how the font changed right there.
Yeah, but I'm working off of Rick's here and Rick's
Rick's
is all
changed.
same.
No, Rick's changed too.
Yeah.
The font style turned bigger,
Okay, yeah,
Right.
now I see it, yeah.
so that was added by, past administration changed all the way through that. That is why that's
You're
changed like
saying-
that.
After 8.08,
If you look at how this font is different, you can see how this was changed.
Yeah.
This is bigger font, then if you flip the page, how it's back to the.
well,
bigger.
that one right there is from Rob's AI generated one.
Oh, you brought this whole sheet and
That-
attached it
yeah,
into there?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so
That's why-
that is just the section that I pulled out, this page.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got three different ones going on here,
Oh,
so
all right,
it's,
sorry, all right. Yeah,
it's a little
This-
different, it's a
This
little
is
weird.
what I pulled out of Rob's AI generated one.
Oh, okay.
correct. But all right, basically 0.008, I think needs to come out of all this. Sidewalks,
anything
roads, and
reference-
anything.
Anything referencing special assessment, gone.
But let-
Anything, 8.08, whole thing, gone.
And I will send you guys tomorrow the minutes from that meeting that was back in 2022 to show you how that was
So
actually
8.08 all the way down.
correct.
So we would just remove and reserve.
Yes.
Then we need to put 8.
No, we can remove and reserve, so you can leave it blank, and then if something else needs to be input in there,
Then
you can just put it in at
there.
8.08.
Then do we remove 8.072B?
It says. special assessment.
Yes.
Yes,
We just crossed over where we're gonna have to come back and look at the final version.
I'll be quite honest, I'm gonna look at 8.07 all the way through 8.09. I need to be looked at to see if that whole thing can come out, but you gotta look at the minutes, how that was written back in
I will
2000.
give you, what I'm doing is I took out this AI generated one and I put the resolution in this packet that I'll give you for the verbiage.
And me and Kim already had a conversation. She's aware of what's
Okay,
needs to be added, so.
okay. 8.08-4 is okay. We're removing 8.08.
Yep.
And 8.11, moving buildings, number 5, adding the word village in front of clerk treasurer. And 8.116, taking out gender specific he and adding the owner or mover. And then 8.12, 8.12, number 2, the director, taking out he. That was all.
Yeah, like for example, if you look at 8.14, number 7, or 8.112, number 7, special assessments. Like I said, I will review all those special assessment area, to see, make sure that the motion that was passed was taking them all, but I,
Okay. Do we want to put in 8.13 and 8.14 as reserved too? Because there's nothing in there.
I would say. It's
probably, I mean, what was there? Yeah, just for keeping everything clean, I would probably put those two back in there, put reserve.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back. I'm going to ask for a motion to table this till the August meeting.
I got a couple of suggestions here. So first one, 8-1, it's an 8.03 sub 6. Committee shall comply with all Public Works Committee rules and regulations governing excavation, refilling, and et cetera, et cetera.
Where are you?
8.1, so 8.03 in section 6, excavation, refilling, and repaving requirements.
First sentence.
Oh,
Yeah, the committee shall comply with all Public Works Committee rules and regulations governing excavation. Do we have authority to set rules and regulations? Can we just remove that and say, committee shall comply with all village rules and regulations governing extension? Cause I don't think a committee has the authority to
I
pass
see what you're saying now.
rules and regulations. It just semantics.
Yeah, I read over, I was thinking the Public Works rules and regulations.
Correct, not the committee. Like committees don't have authority to
No.
do.
I was
things like
reading it
that.
because I'm sure Public Works has standards in like 17, 8, 19.
Correct. So if we just take out Public Works Committee and say village, shall comply with all village rules and regulations governing excavation, et cetera, then that
I'm okay with
that
that.
brings the umbrella back in that we can reference things that are in ordinance 17, 18, 19, et cetera.
Okay,
Okay, that was the only one. Couple places, this is the insurance nerd in me. Permit public liability insurance of not less than 500,000 for any one person, 1 million for any one incident, 50,000. Have you gotten a hold of your insurance broker and found out if that's a good amount?
I will double check. Normally, the next 2 months, we do our next year's insurance stuff, so I'll definitely bring that up.
And it might just be a recommendation for them too, that they say like, hey, what you're asking for is probably a little bit low because everything's getting more expensive. So $500,000 of coverage might seem like a lot, but if they damage a water main or critical infrastructure or a building, that might not be enough. So a county is 1 million per incident, 3 million aggregate.
Okay.
For most general contractors and projects, and anything specialized or underground is 2 million per incident, 6 million aggregate. So we're a little bit above that, and I just want to make sure that if we're requiring insurance for vendors and contractors and people that are moving giant buildings, that we have enough, or they have enough insurance to make the village whole if something does happen. So it's just a recommendation to go back to your insurance people and find out like, hey, we're asking for this, for these purposes, is this enough? And if they say we need more, then we can come back and say,
okay.
hey, our minimum is now 1 million, 2 million aggregate, and 100,000 for bodily injury.
So I'm in favor of that.
Yeah.
That,
Yep, I'll definitely reach them. There might be some bonds nowadays that you need to think about. I don't, but look at a permit
Okay.
too. You know,
Yeah.
they might have to bond nowadays and move that even.
anything else?
Correct. So when you have something like that and someone's doing work on, you bring in a contractor to do stuff, do you get a certificate of insurance from the contractor that
Yeah.
says what their coverage is?
Yeah.
Okay, we do the same thing too, and that's kind of one of those that, I don't know if we're collecting those when people are doing excavation near our,
Not
Infrastructure.
village people are doing work for the village. We do, but
Yep.
not outside there. I mean, obviously, we make sure, we don't have a lot of that
Hmm.
stuff, we haven't had a lot of big things like that, but,
Yep, no, I just want to make sure
I'm
that,
like from the Y door down, obviously, we made them, have a bond with their whole deal to the
Correct.
contractor.
yeah, I just want to make sure that we have enough right now, and if it's a simple phone call or email and says, hey, you need to double that, then we double it.
Okay,
Yep, those were the only ones that I had.
thank
I think
you.
you addressed everything else.
Okay. President Mansell, anything? Yeah. Okay, so I will look for a motion to table this till the August PLP meeting.
So moved.
Second. So all in favor of tabling this discussion and approval of chapter 8? Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And
Yep, and I'll work with staff to get that updated and get you guys out there so that we have a good month to review. So if you see things in that month that weren't done, please let me know so we can get that in.
okay. Good discussion. Thank you very much. Any old business?
None.
I don't have any. Any correspondence? I have not received any.
Not,
Nope.
not this thing.
I guess I will back up to old business. Have we heard anything on the wake boat? We passed it here, past the,
So on Wednesday after the meeting, Thursday morning, I work with our clerk to send over to Saratoga's clerk and to Grand Rapids clerk the information. The Grand Rapids clerk did reach out to me, just asked me a few questions, more or less She really didn't know this was what was all going on, so I kind of filled her in where everything was at and gave her my number, and trustee has his email address. If anybody on their committee has any thoughts, let me know. I have not heard back at all from Saratoga, but I do know they did receive the information, so that was where that's at.
Thank you very much. Any correspondence? Future agenda items, chapter 8 review and chapter 9 discussion and DMI. Update again. With the, basically, we get estimated cost on the legal fees that would be necessary to try to go after them. Any other agenda items that you? Okay, next meeting date, what did you set your,
We went with August 26th at 4:30. You double check and verify. Yeah, August 26th is fourth Wednesday.
I should be okay with that. At 5 PM, August 26th at 5 PM. I'm camping the week before. Actually gonna use my camera. Okay, any with no reservations, I will adjourn the meeting at 5:30.
Nice.
Nice.